Alrighty, in this video we're going to go over the Shockwave, the Spirit Surge, and the Key Burst Talismans. So, first of all, let's go over the Shockwave effect. What the Shockwave does is every time you key pulse, it does a little shockwave. This is similar to do I even have it on my Spirit? It's similar to the shockwave that the Tornado does. I guess I don't have Tornado on this particular character, even though I usually use Tornado. So it does a little bit of damage and a little bit of key damage. And the most important part is that it'll actually knock enemies up, even though I did a really poor example of that. Let me switch back over. See, it knocks them back up on their feet. Its usage is really good if you know how to zero key combo correctly. Although I've never been a fan of zero key comboing, just because I prefer to just kill the enemy with a grapple. And I run the Meta clan, so when I grapple, I actually get a defensive. They remove all their defense for a few seconds, so it's very handy for me to just go ahead and grapple. So let me show you. And see how they got the defensive down? Yep, removed all of their defense for just a second. So anyways, that's Shockwave. If you know how to zero key combo with it, it could be pretty decent. Anyways, let's go into we'll go into the Key Burst Talisman. So the Key Burst Talisman is kind of like two effects. So one, it does do damage, and it does remove a lot of key. However, the max key damage it does is very low. You noticed it barely removes max key. I'm not a big fan of it, honestly, but if you are running like a pseudo, like half ninjutsu, half omnio build, I can see feathers doing quite a bit of damage if you can key burst or use this key burst talisman to get rid of their max key, so that feathers just do crazy elemental damage. Again, there's also another effect to it. That was just the one effect earlier. Was I said it did damage. You can actually use it to stagger humans out of attacks. It's pretty good for that. Actually, it's insanely good for that. Also, against humans, the key damage is pretty respectable because humans don't have max key; they just have regular key. So, if you're going to use this as an anti-human tool, by all means, there is definitely a purpose there. Personally, I have other ways to deal with humans. So, anyways, let's go into the Spirit Surge Talisman. So what these do is they increase your key damage dealt when attacking in Yokai Shift and when performing burst counters. So we'll go ahead and try the see if we can't get a burst counter proc out of him. The buff some usually wears off pretty quick. It's holding on a lot longer than I thought it would already, but it's not the longest buff like extraction. So it doesn't want to do what's really good about this is because it does so much key damage on a burst counter. For those that don't know, when you successfully burst counter a yokai below their, or technically out of key, but you know they're not completely out of key, you can go into a yokai shift grapple. Come on, you're taking too long. Just there we go. And see, as long as you knock them out of key, as long as you burst counter correctly and press Y, you're good to go. So, and this works for any guardian spirit, any form, whether it be brute, feral, or phantom. So as long as you knock them out of key, it's pretty good. Now, as far as going into yokai shift, your strong attacks do quite a bit of key damage. And with Spirit Surge, it does a lot of key damage. So keep that in mind. It's very good on a yokai shift orientated build. The reason it's so much key damage there was because it broke Horn. But still, keep that in mind. Spirit Surge Talismans are great for that. So that's really all the Spirit Surges are good for, is baiting out the burst counters, and when you go into Yokai Shift, just getting those strong attacks in, especially those charged strong attacks that you get from Takamaru in the last DLC. So what they look like is, actually I'll just show them to you. It's not a big deal. And the reason I'm showing this in an Amio guide is because this is for newer players. So shut up if you've already seen it. So a charged strong attack with the secret skill actually gives you another 2 disc in phantom form. So it basically doubles your damage. A charged feral just adds a little kick at the end of it, and it does a lot of damage as well. For those that don't know, Phantom also has this attack. You can aim it like a ranged weapon. And you can go through the enemy like that. Pretty cool. I just thought I'd show it to you. And I'll switch over to Brute to show you that one. Feral's skill is just that you're able to dodge in any form. I will show you Brute's skill, both the one you have at the start of the game, which is Fang Break, and the charged attack. So the charged attack looks like this, and it shoots out a little bit of it's got a ranged component, and it'll light targets on fire, which is pretty cool. See that? Look at that. That fire damage. And that is Fang Break. So you just guard and you press Y as soon as you're about to get hit, and you will go into a Fang Break if it's successful, like that. And this, you could actually bully a lot of boss monsters to this. Tadaboshi. Uh, Tadaboshi is a big bully, especially if you are on her ass and you don't play as a defensive or an evasive character. If you play more defensive, she's gonna bully you. She's gonna hit like a truck, remove all of your ki, hit like a truck, and continue hitting like a truck. Fang Break will stop her in her tracks. It is one of the most unfair things uh, against Tadaboshi, and I love it because Tadaboshi is an asshat. Um, really get good at the Fang Break timing. Also, for just so you're aware, Brute, the combo is 3 strongs or 3 quicks. That'll net you more damage than strong spam. So 3 quicks. Try to get that Fang Break in there. So, anyways, just thought I'd show you that. So, anyways, that's it for this guide. It was a short one, so I figured I'd show you. So, anyways, see you in the next one. Bye.